are back after a very brief hiatus. Welcome to the Grimm Femmes Beyond the Veil. So before we get into a recap, also didn't ask before the stream if any of you are interested in doing a recap. Think about it now. And why don't we go around and have these amazing, wonderful players introduce themselves, starting why don't we start with our returning player, Vox/Kaya?
The one that nobody can see. My disembodied voice comes through the ether. I am Kaya Gaston.
No, they can in fact see you.
They can?
They can in fact see you.
Oh shit. Okay. Hello. I'm doing great. Hi everyone. I'm Kaya Gaston. You can find me on the Twitter sphere at Kurt Charisma. I play Vox by Karen, the pirate rogue. I think that's me. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm so happy to be back. Okay. I go away now.
Toodles. We'll keep going down that line, and let's go over to Val.
I was so cute, quick on the mute button this time. Okay, minor celebration over. Hi, I'm Val. I use she/her pronouns, and tonight I am playing Lapis, the Kalash Tad Druid of Dreams, who also uses she/her pronouns.
A classic Val move. Thank you for the follow, Pale White Rabbit. Welcome. Over to Anders. You're muted.
Yep,
sir?
I'm here. Hello. I'm Anders. I thought I hit the mute button, but my finger failed. I use he, him pronouns, and tonight I am playing Tate, an abjuration wizard who it's fine. It's all good. We're doing good.
We're gonna get through it. And down to Maria.
Hello, it's me. I am Maria. I use she, they pronouns, and tonight I will be playing Irene, who is a Hexblade warlock who also uses the same pronouns.
And thank you also to Maria for running our tech and for making this beautiful overlay. So I am Emma. Hello, I am your story weaver. I use she, her pronouns. Is anybody feeling compelled to do a recap?
So we flew as birds, as one together.
I was about to say, don't worry, I'll do it.
Don't worry, Kaya's got this. We had brunch. We finished up our brunch in Irene's pocket dimension. And then we decided we rolled some dice to figure out where we could potentially go next, and chose the emotional plane storms thunder wave. Went to a city in the sky, and instead of waiting in line, we transformed into birds and flew all the way up. Met some really lovely shopkeepers, made an offering to the fountain gods, and then oh my god, we helped one of the guards with a meal for her girlfriend, and that was beautiful. And such a life moment. And we joined up with the caravan and began our trip into the emotional Stormlands. We first went into the plane of anger, where Tate was confronted with an image from his past and had an incredibly powerful and beautiful sequence with that where they cast power word kill, and just go watch it because it's great. It's just beautiful and powerful, and I love Anders, you're so great. And that's where we finished last time, I think.
Yes, we were mid combat actually. So unless there are other further announcements and or additions at this time, we shall return to the Greywind Path in the midst of a rage storm. Dude, hold, please. Thank you so much for your patience. So, we left off at the top of the round with Irene and Lapis. You are on deck. Just to remind folks, Anders, would you like to take a moment to describe not only what this individual looks like, but the current position that they are in?
Sure. So he's an older gentleman, probably mid-50s or so. Dark hair that's graying at the roots. Clean, very well maintained facial hair. Very expensive looking clothing, and holds himself very, very tall and taut and proper. Except for right now, where he is held in place by fear and cannot, I believe, do anything because of the immense pain currently on his body. Crippling pain from a power word pain spell that I have cast upon him.
So, Irene, you see before you, you can also sort of see that these little bits and pieces that look almost like, kind of like beetles, but they're a little fiery. They seem to be sort of, he's not as cohesive as he was before. You can see him sort of begin to actually truly fall apart. What is it that you would like to do?
If I remember correctly, I was pretty close to where he was.
Yes.
So I would like to I think I'm just gonna hit it with my sword. I think that's where
Okie
I'm
dokie.
at right now.
Sure.
Dice are important sometimes. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Hitting with a weapon. Natural 20.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
I have to walk you through what my
Okay, because I also
crit
wanted to
rolls
cast.
are.
I also want to cast this spell alongside of it called Staggering Smite.
Beautiful. So here's how crit damage works in my games, and it works not only for monsters and NPCs, but also for players. So take automatic max weapon damage to start. That's your
Okay.
base.
Okay.
You're gonna roll double the die, and then you double your modifiers.
Okay. Does this include this spell that I'm casting through my blade? Or is it just the weapon damage that's all jacked up?
Nope. So can you read me what the spell does?
Yes. So Staggering Smite. The next time I hit a creature with a melee weapon attack during the spell's duration, and this spell I can cast as a bonus action, so in retrospect I would have cast it before attacking. It pierces both body and mind, and it deals an extra 46 psychic damage. And then they have to make a wisdom save, and then on a failed save, they have a disadvantage on such things and can't take reactions. That stuff.
I'm going to have you choose which you want to double. You can double you'll double all your modifiers, and you can choose whether or not. No, you know what? Fuck it. I don't know why I'm doing that. Just double everything.
Double everything.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to be like that.
Okay. Okay. Excuse me. So, regular sword damage is what was it? Okay. is
I got a calculator. I'm ready for you.
okay, so it's 1d6, so it's 6 plus, if we're doubling modifier, 8. For
Okay.
just regular extra damage.
That's your base. Okay.
And then
Roll your d6.
another 5.
Okay.
And then the spell is 4d6, so math is great.
Well, you can
just roll it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. 16 psychic damage. Oh god. And then they have to make a wisdom saving throw.
So your total is 46 damage with 32 of that being psychic.
Hazorb.
What did I say? 46?
Yeah.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw.
Yes, DC is 18.
With disadvantage because he's in crippling pain.
Okay, so he fails.
Okay. They have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks and cannot take reactions until the end of its next turn.
Okay. And what does it look like when Irene does this?
I think for Irene, she sees this figure and sees Tate and kind of can feel the impact that this person has towards Tate and on Tate. And I think that she acknowledges how much pain this embodiment of an individual has put on someone that they care about. And I think she just hums one note, one just like long extended note that just kind of starts to vibrate the blade. And as they're bent over in pain, they just kind of come through and across the back to kind of keep them down, to keep them from doing anything else, from hurting Tate or anything like that. Not saying anything, no like screaming or anything, but there is definitely like an anger, a how could you kind of look to her face.
Sure. And for the rest of you, you see Irene do this, and you see this figure push even further into the ground, and you can see some sort of groups of these sort of bee bug things fly off of it, making him just a little bit smaller, a little bit more, disembodied and shattered a bit. Lapis, you are up next. Tate, you are on deck.
He's still also under the effects of Wrath of Nature.
He's wrapped in vines right now. Isn't that accurate?
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay, I am going to... Oh, all of these are concentration spells. Oh dear. Oh, except for that one. Alrighty then. I would like to cast Blight at 4th level on this person.
Okay. And what does that look like when Lapis does that?
So Lapis, after summoning the powers of nature, you can see the kind of blue and golden power turn into this black and green swirling mass, almost like tentacles, because we're in a game with Emma and I want to put tentacles in it. Almost like these tendrils of necrotic energy reach out and just pierce him at different points. And it just washes over him and it draining moisture and vitality from him. and he must make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. He fails for sure.
Alright, so he takes 8d6 necrotic damage. I'm going to do math now, so bear with me for the next 30 minutes.
Lay down. Lay down.
Figuring out if this is
No, lay down, honey.
4, 5,
down.
9,
No, lay down.
16,
Senna, stop.
20,
But I love you, Dad.
22,
Oh, I'm not muted.
29,
Please, someone clip that, please.
36, 38.
Woo! All right.
And also, for my bonus action, I'm going to pelt him with some rocks again,
Do it.
because I don't like them. Let me just check what I have to do for that one again. Ranged spell attack against the target. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
That is a 15. Oh, wait,
Uh,
no. Wait, do I add my spell attack modifier for that? Hang on, one sec. Hold, please. I'm just going to figure out. Yeah, I have a plus 10 to hit, apparently. Wow, okay.
That hits.
Fine.
Yep,
Yeah, fine then.
for sure.
So then he gets hit with some very nice, I think 3d6 damage. I don't know why my voice has gone ASMR.
I don't think
Oh,
anybody's
3D.
complaining.
While she's doing the 3d6 damage, I did remember that I did cast my Hexblade Curse on this creature, and
15.
so there's an extra 5 damage on top of what I told you.
Okay.
And he takes 18 points of damage.
Okay. You can all see now that this creature, this being, now is at this point so disembodied at this point that it's even hard to tell that it is one thing. And you can see these vines just continuing to move with the body and wrap around as it tries to escape. Tate, what is it that you would like to do?
I look at it. I pull my spell book off my leg and I flip to one of the very first spells in it. I just sort of trace the rune. And I'm going to cast Magic Missile at it. And after the first 3 darts fly off, I'm going to look at it again and go, again. And I'm going to increase the level of Magic Missile. Again. And I'm going to increase it all the way up to level 5, which means 7 Magic Missile darts are going to fly out and smack into him. Over and over again. I don't remember, do I roll 1d4 and multiply it, or do I roll 7d4?
What?
I don't know
You
how
can
this spell works.
you can actually be. I roll different ones for each missile. I think that would make more sense since they are each. It's one spell, but they're different missiles. If you want to just roll one, that's up to you. How do people just add like that? He's like living on the edge right now.
He's too powerful.
29 points of damage.
How do you want to do this?
With each missile that sort of whacks into it and sort of disrupts the little bug-like creatures that are making up this body, he just under his breath whispers again. And then another one hits again. And another one hits until he's literally out of magic and there is just dust and particle left.
And for the rest of you, you see this dust sort of fade, and the only thing that remains are sort of the echoes of this encounter. And Your spells settle, and you can see now that there just appears to be a bit of a windstorm here in this space. What is it that you'd like to do in these moments?
I want to walk back over to where Tate is. And I think that you were still in like the cart wagon thing, right? So I'm on the ground, and I'll just kind of look up towards you and say, "Are you okay?"
That was very cathartic and satisfying.
But are you okay?
Ask me again in an hour.
Would you like a piece of moss? I bought some extra for the trip, so you could have one every day as usual.
Ask me again in an hour.
Very well, Tate.
I will close my spell book and put it back on its holster. And then just sit down.
I'll climb back up into the driver's chair position.
And I shall sit. You're muted.
You're so muted. Lovely mute.
I'm not muted. I think I was quiet.
No.
Hello. Are you going to take a moment here, or are you going to continue forward?
I think forward. Unless anyone else objects. Perhaps moving away is best.
Okay, so you continue to move forward through this. At this point, it just looks like a bit of a windstorm, and you're still in this ravine type area that begins to open up just a little bit wider. Feel like you can breathe a little bit more. The windstorm has not died down. And then you all begin to hear something. It sounds almost like lightning, like there is a crackling of energy. And then you can see something sort of begin to open in front of you. And you see the wind begins to pick up, and out of what appears to be almost a rip in time, you see a massive, huge ship that you recognize from back in the Vale come barreling through here. And you can hear screams from the ship, and you can see the captain there panicking, and she turns the wheel, and it just before she thinks that she can get back out of there, it crashes into the side of the wall before being sucked back in through another portal. But you see two bodies fall from this ship after getting knocked. They get flown from the deck, and two bodies land flat down onto the ground, and the ship has been sucked back in to the other side of this portal.
I would like to hop out of the cart and go check on them.
So you walk up to the two bodies, and as you move a little bit closer, you can see that one of them looks a little bit familiar, but also not quite. And they are both face down. And as you get closer, you see that you recognize one of the bodies as Fox.
Oh! Kaya!
Hey,
Kaya, I love you. You're great. opening was like, hello, yes, it's me.
Tis me. Tis I. Welcome, Raiders. We are in the midst of some emotionally charged storms. So, Kaya, you are mostly fine. The fall wasn't super far, but it was uncomfortable. And you're a little groggy, but you're okay, and you're conscious.
I'll roll over. Who fell with me?
As you look over, you can see this body push themselves up. And a bit of panic before they see that you're there, and you see that you have fallen with Andy. For the rest of you, you see before you a grizzled and nervous-looking werewolf. They are bipedal. They have an elongated, they literally have the face of a wolf, and they are large. If she were to stand up right now, she'd be about 8 feet tall. She is a big girl. And you can see her kind of scuttle back and look at everybody, and then look at Vox. Was that...
You know about as much as I do. And I'll turn around and be like, oh, it's, hi.
Hello, Vox. Do you require medical attention?
No, I think I'm okay. Andy, are you okay?
Do you know these people?
Yes, Andy, we're fine.
And Andy will jump up onto her legs, and she'll walk up to Lapis, and she'll kind of get kind of close to you, and then put her hand out. I'm Andy.
Hello, I am Lapis.
Lapis, it's really nice to meet you. Hi.
Hello. I like your fur. It is a pretty color.
Thank you. I have heard that before, but thank you so much.
You are welcome. You fell through a portal. Are you aware of this?
Yep. Yeah, you know, that's kind of one of the things that could happen in the archipelago. The restless, it's okay. The captain briefed us on how to handle this situation, and I think we'll be okay. I'm not entirely sure, but I think we'll be okay. I think we're gonna be just fine.
Did the captain brief me on what would happen in such a situation?
No.
Nope. So I'm not okay. I feel like if you look at Vox, she's really unsteady. Like she can't get her legs under her, and she's just like looking out, a little panicked. Because
Try to steer the cart in that direction.
Oh. Also, Irene and Tate are here.
You'll see like a very big clawed paw wave, and they'll lumber. They kind of walk like this. They'll lumber up. Hi, I'm Andy. It's really nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Irene.
Hello, Irene. I'm Andy. And then she'll turn
Hi.
over to Tate. Hello, I'm Andy.
I'm Tate. It's nice to meet you.
Hi. Hello, Tate. It is lovely to meet you. I'm Andy.
I have known Andy for exactly 5 minutes, and if anything happened to them, I would destroy this entire plane and the universe.
imagine me in my side scenes the other day.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
I was like, well, shit, how could I be depressed with this person?
I did not shake Andy's hand, by the way.
Andy recognized that and kind of tried to fix her fur.
I feel like Vox is trying very hard not to panic. It's not that I'm not happy to see you all. I'm very confused. I don't... Are they gonna come back?
Okay, so it's
Andy.
okay. It's okay. I've been briefed on this. I have a thing. The captain gave me a thing. It's okay. You know what? It's gonna be just fine. I'm pretty sure this has happened before. Just give me a second. And she's going to rummage around in her stuff, and she pulls out what looks kind of like a compass. And you see that she's like, okay, you know what? This is okay. We can go to plan B. It's going to be, you know. And he pulls out what looks kind of like it looks kind of like a trinket of sorts that's shaped like it's the middle part of a staff. And it looks like it's got these little gears on it, and she clicks a button, and these elongated pieces that are quite sharp come out of it. And you see him, what is wrong with me? I think Andy's like, whatever, we'll just see what happens with Andy. Holds it up to their mouth and whispers into it. If anybody wants to try to hear it, they can. You can go ahead and roll for it.
I'm too freaked out.
Andy is not tactful.
Oh no.
I got a 14.
17.
Okay.
I got a 5.
13.
Okay. What did you get, Tate?
17.
Okay. Tate, you hear them whisper into, or attempt to whisper into this. In common, you can hear them say, "Seas save us." And he waits for a moment. And you see this sort of mist begin to form in front, and it looks kind of like a mirror. And in that mirror, you all can see Captain Bones standing there. So this is new, I will say that. Fox, aren't those your friends?
Yes, they are.
Hello. Well, I'm glad you're with people you know. That's great. We'll find you. It might take a little bit. And she kind of moves her head, and you can see behind a giant sea dragon currently trying to go after the ship. It's okay. We deal with these things all the time. Don't worry about it. And you see her start to spin the wheel and move out, and you no longer see the dragon behind. It's okay. It's been a rough time of year down here. We're gonna come back for you. We'll find the right portal. We just gotta deal with her. It'll be okay.
You promise you'll come back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I promise you. No one ever gets left behind. Not in the Leviathans.
Okay. Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah. We'll be back.
Be safe.
Yeah, you too. And it disappears. And you can see Andy's face there, like, okay. So I think we should forge forward. You know, I think that's really our only option right now. I think we gotta go forward.
Okay. Fox will take a couple breaths and just turn around and go. It really is good to see you all. I can't say that you haven't been on my mind. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Physically, I believe we are in good health.
Yep.
Tay, are you okay?
Ask me again in an hour.
Fair enough. Well, Captain Bones is right. I was lucky enough to land back with some of the best allies. It is really good to see all you again.
It is good to see you. I have noted your absence.
Thank you, Lapis. as you've met Andy, one of my new crewmates. We work in the navigator's nest.
Do you and Irene will just kind of slide over in the like front driver's seats. Do you want to sit up here with me?
Yeah, sure. Andy, let's get on the cart and hopefully Captain Bones finds us soon.
She'll find us. She always does. She really does. That's not a lie. I know it sounds more sarcastic than I'm actually saying it right now, but I think that's just because I'm nervous.
I hadn't noticed. I can literally feel it vibrating off of you.
You know what? I think I'm gonna just run ahead a little bit. I think that'll help me. I'll be right back. You keep forging forward. We'll catch up.
What
And-
for the storm?
Andy takes off. And on all fours, you see this lumbering werewolf with sort of black and gray fur take off. She's gone.
You get used to it after a while. It's kind of contagious. I feel like I haven't slept in 2 days. It's hard to sleep when she's around.
They're amazing.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. Yeah.
How was your ship? You went on a boat time.
It's been... it was almost like going home. I finally had my feet under me. I almost felt balanced. And they keep me pretty busy. I feel like they might be keeping me busy on purpose. But there's some amazing people in there. And yeah, it's been good. It feels weird to be on dry land. She's kind of swaying a little bit, like she just can't quite find her center.
Oh, I'm just gonna like go. And just kind of make the cart go to kind of just give some motion.
Yeah. No, Captain Bones. Andy. Oh my gosh. All of them. Dixon. Lily. Tate. You would love Lily. I see a lot of you in her. Anyways, it's really good. Where are we heading? When did we get a cart? Where are we?
Well, those are all really, really, really good questions that have answers. The biggest one is we're traveling through some storms that are emotional storms. It's fine. It's fine. We are headed to a very small place called Pell, very old town. There's lots of druids there. And we're bringing she'll kind of like turn around and like reach. We're bringing some alchemical supplies to a pack of werewolves.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Andy knows them. Of them.
Maybe, but maybe not. I mean, I don't want to presume.
Not like all werewolves know each other, but knowing Andy, I feel like she knows everybody.
They kind of do seem like that kind of a person.
Yeah.
But that's
I don't think she sleeps.
I don't know if she would need to.
I don't think she does.
As you both say that, you hear yelling. And you hear thumping of footsteps. And out of the dust storms, you see Andy running back at you. We should go back. It's not great out there. I don't like it. It's not good. We have to, I don't know what we're doing. I'm not sure why we're here. It's not good in there. I don't think we should go in there. And you see them kind of like stop and their ears twitch and they slowly turn back around and you see and can hear something shadowy coming out of these sort of dusty storms. And you begin to sort of feel this sense of, you all begin to sort of feel this sense of almost scorn. You begin to feel this sense of disdain begin to wash over your body. But Irene, you feel as if a overwhelming amount of contempt begin to just writhe under your skin. You can feel it settling into the cracks and spaces of your body. And the dust clears and it begins to grow quite dark in the area. And you can sort of feel electricity in the air. And coming out from this sort of dust that is settling is the manifestation of contempt that you feel somewhere in your body. What does this manifestation look like?
Well, I think it's a amorphous, writhing mass that, as it kind of moves and almost sludges forward, you can see like faces will appear and then disappear, and there's this just constant whispering that's loud and sharp, almost as if words could pierce you. And it's this dark gray, not quite black and not quite pleasant to look at. And if it were less solid, it could be smoke, but it's just solid enough to have some agency. It has enough presence to be. And it's huge. Larger than it should be.
And you see Andy. You all see this, but Andy is closest. And they turn back around and they look, their eyes sort of go across all of you and they hold very still. And you hear quietly them say, "What do we want to do about this?"
Feel it.
Yeah? Are we gonna...
Ari's just kind of shrinking. She was super excited and like bubbly, and now she's just like shrinking back, kind of into herself.
Andy notices this, and you all see Andy sort of stand up, and you see them kind of like crack their neck. And you can see them sort of, first they look to you, Vox, just to sort of read how you see this. And you can see very slowly their back begin to crack. And you see them grow even taller. You see their claws sharpen. And you see that she takes off a massive battle axe that you all saw her holding. And she growls and says, "Then let's do this." And she turns around and leaps directly toward this thing. I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Andy is honestly my favorite.
Yep.
God,
Yep.
I love them.
Oh shit.
Also shit.
Also shit.
No, like, oh shit.
Mine's more of a holy.
The holiest of feces.
Oh no.
Mine
I-
is a fuck, so
I mean, those could be great.
Yeah.
it's not that type of.
The Swiss cheesiest of holies.
I got mid ground.
All right, 20 and up.
21.
23.
Box, what's your dex?
My dex is +5.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh shit. Oh no.
It's fine, everybody. I think it's gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, contempt is very strong.
Contempt is quite strong.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you all assume that it's contempt.
Wow.
I'm also playing Andy.
Well, I
It's okay.
always expect the worst.
Tate, what do you have?
That would be a natural 1 for a 3.
Okay. And Lapis. It doesn't matter. I think I know where you're going. So, your suspicions were in fact accurate, and contempt is going to be up first. So, let's do this real quick. Oh, please. So, well, actually, it's going to be Andy up first.
Oh. Baller.
So. You see Andy try to slam down with one and will miss, and will immediately, very rapidly and dexterously, hit them a second time. Oopsie doopsie. Oh my god. Sorry. Okay. And you see that they lob off a little bit of this, and you can hear this creature of contempt sort of hiss back. And Andy is now sort of right up next to it, and now it is Contempt's turn. So.
Be gentle on my emotional support.
I'm
werewolf.
An emotional support werewolf. Not Tate, Anders.
Aww.
So, okay. Did my music stop? Excuse you. Okay. You see a writhing sort of tentacle come out and wrap around Andy, and you can see Andy kind of like tighten up as if something's being pulled from them. And as the tentacle sort of like pulls back in, you can see that it grows a bit, and you can see Andy kind of shudder down to the ground. And they look okay, but they look like this was very hard on their body. And they are currently stunned and on their knees.
May I use my reaction?
Yes.
So they just took damage, right?
They took damage and 1 point of exhaustion.
Okay. I don't know if I can do anything about exhaustion, but the sort of blue and pink magical threads that sort of sunk into Tate's skin at the end of the last fight come off and begin to sort of peel off of his body and sort of move through the air and wrap around Andy. And I'm going to project my abjuration ward onto Andy to absorb that damage if I can.
Okay.
It can take 21 hit points before it's destroyed.
Okay. So it can take 21.
Yeah, because it took 16 last time, I think.
Do you know, can you tell if it, can you tell how much is left in it?
I think so. Because I tracked it last time. It's still attached to me. It's just sort of
Okay.
shielding Andy for a second.
So, so that does take the damage.
Okay.
Because he was unable to refuse the remaining effects of it, and you can sense that this ward cannot take much more, as in it has 1 hit point left that it can accept.
Cool.
But Andy will kind of look over at you and give you a wink. That takes us to Vox.
Fox doesn't really like seeing a crew member like that. That is gonna shake her really bad. But she's going to is Andy being held? Is she
No.
being held? Okay. She's been dropped.
Yeah, something has been pulled from her and she is sort of heaving on the ground. Mechanically, she's stunned and suffering from 1 point of exhaustion.
Okay. I will run then up to at least 30 feet from it.
Okay.
And will reach behind me and take out both hand crossbows that I keep
Okay.
on me. Aim and fire with my action and my bonus action. So first one is 27 hits.
Yes, that hits.
And the second one, since it's an offhand, doesn't get proficiency, correct?
Correct. Unless you're ambidextrous, I guess.
I mean, it gives me my proficiency. 20 to hit.
Is that an unnatural 20?
Unnatural, dirty 20.
Okay, then yeah, both of those hit.
Okay, cool. And I feel like it's been a while since I've played it. Do I get sneak attack? Since my ally is within 5
Yeah.
feet of it.
Yeah.
Hell yes, I love rogues. Cool. Then shit. Can you not? Thank you. So really. 1 for the crossbow. Plus 17. I'm trying to do math as I go.
I have a calculator, I can do it for you.
Hold on. 6. 42 points of damage for the first arrow.
And what kind of damage is this?
This would be piercing, but they are +1 crossbows.
Got it.
So it's still considered magical. And then the second arrow does another 7 points of damage.
So what was the total?
What was the first number I said?
I don't remember.
I think it was like 42.
42, so
40, 49.
Yeah, total.
All right. So these crossbows go off, and you can see that although it kind of like appears as though it sort of like grew apart and then squished itself back together, you can see behind you on the large cavernous side of this ravine that it pulled pieces directly from it that are now just dripping on the side of the cavern below where the arrows landed.
Okay. And in a really panic-filled voice, she will scream to Andy to get the fuck away from this thing.
Okay. Which takes us... Is that your turn?
That's all I can do.
Okay, that takes us over to Andy. Irene, you are on deck. Andy is going to... Okay. You see Andy kind of take a moment and whisper to himself. And he will stand back up and shake their head and look back at you and say, I don't know about that. And he will leap back in. And
Damn it, Andy.
yeah, well, it's okay. He hits pretty hard. Okay. And you see this time, they're raging. And you can see them just slam their axe down and split this thing in half, which actually now you see it split and grow into two sort of amorphous blobs. But as soon as the blade hits the ground, you can see rising up from it this wind, and you can see about 4 or 5 werewolves, and you can hear this howling echoing in this ravine, and you see these spectral figures begin to swarm around these creatures, creating walls between you all and between Andy and this creature of contempt. And that is their turn. Irene. Lapis, you are on deck.
Irene. They will also kind of in a panic state, seeing their companions kind of taking on this thing that was very destructive. They will kind of scrabble to the edge of the wagon and they'll say to the creature, they'll scream towards the creature, "Don't you touch them." And I want to cast Eldritch Blast, which has 3 blasts. 3 beams.
Ooh. 3 beams.
3 beams. Okay. So the first, it's a natural 20.
Oh boy, howdy. Okay.
The second is god awful 15, and then the third is a 16. No, yeah, 16.
Okay. So the what was the second one? 13?
15 and 16 were the other two.
Okay, so they all hit.
Okay.
For the crit,
Uh-huh.
do the base damage for an Eldritch Blast, then roll.
Okay.
And I can't remember if you add modifiers to that.
You do if you have special things. For me, I don't believe that I do.
Okay.
No, I have a thing where I can add it to my weapon damage and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
So the base damage is 10,
Okay, I got it. 10.
and then I roll again.
Yes.
1.
Sick. Next.
And then the other 2 are just regulars for a total of 6.
That's still a lot.
It's fine.
17 points.
It's fine. And then I don't have anything. Wait. Don't have anything as a bonus action. How far away is it? Roughly.
How far away do you want it to be?
Can it be within 60 feet?
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. I want to use, as I do that, and I kind of fire these blasts that are kind of reminiscent of Tate's magic missiles, in that they just kind of like go out and spiral around and then hit it. And they're this kind of deep red color. As that happens, there's also this red shimmer that kind of vibrates around Irene, and she teleports up to 60 feet in an unoccupied space I can see right next to the creature.
Okay.
And I can do that as a bonus action for up to a minute, as long as I maintain concentration. And then she's gonna pull her sword out when she gets there. And that's my turn.
Okay. So, Lapis, Tate, you are on deck.
Clarifying question.
Yes.
Is there anybody within 5 feet of the being?
Yes, there are 2.
Then I will not do that one. In which case, I'm going to do conjure animals. So I summon fey spirits that take the form of beasts and appear in an unoccupied space that I can see within range. And I can choose 1 beast of challenge rating 2 or lower, 2 of 1 or lower, 4 of 1.5 or lower, or 8 of 1/4 or lower. And it disappears when it drops to 0 hit points. And they're friendly to me. And I have to roll for them in initiative as well. And they obey any verbal commands. If I don't issue commands, they will do all of that. Oh, these are so cute. I'm sorry, I just looked at the things I could summon at the bottom of this. I am going to... Lapis is going to stretch out her hands.
Okay.
And from the earth, you see it burst up. And these spectral beings of dark, shimmering magic take a form of 2 dire wolves. And they howl at this beast.
There's so much howling.
I was like, go with the aesthetic of the werewolves. And Lapis just looks at them and says, Yonsa. And they go attack.
Beautiful.
I need to roll initiative for them. Well, I'm just sending them to attack, but I'm gonna.
No. Why don't we say that they go on your turn?
Oh, neatos.
Awoo.
Awoo! Hello!
Awoo.
I'm just gonna pull up the dire wolf stats. Wolf 5e. Da-da, doing really great. Doing really great. Oh, they're so cute. I love them. I'm keeping them. So they have advantage on attack rolls if there is at least 1 other wolf within 5 feet of them, and they can use bite. Should they attack after me? After my turn's finished, or during? Because they have their own turn.
Let's say that they will attack after you.
Okay, in which case, that is gonna be my turn, because I don't have any bonus sections. Wait, oh no! Andy lost hit points, right?
Yes. Yep, they sure did.
In which case, I'm gonna use my bonus action to use Balm of the Summer Court. and I can spend die from my healing pool to heal a creature within 120 feet. So I've got 16 healing die that I can use to try and heal. So I'm going to do that. And yeah, so I'm going to spend, so it's 3d6. 4, 6, 4. Say you regain 10 hit points.
10 hit points?
Wait, did you say
Yeah.
4, 6, 4? That's 14.
Yeah. Hi,
Hello.
I'm too gay for math.
I'll do math. You do spelling. It's fine.
Yay! So they
Um,
regain 14 hit points.
Okay. All right. Cool. Beautiful. Okay. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Okay. Tate.
Oh wait, wolves.
Wolves. Oh, woo!
Oh,
So sorry. Hold please, Tate.
Okay, if
So
they're
soon.
so they're gonna get up and try and nom. So they're gonna try and bite. And okay, so the first one I'm going to say is probably definitely misses because even with advantage, that was a 14.
Yes, that misses.
Okay, and the wolf got a nat 20. I don't know what to do with that.
Woo! Okay, so it's a nom, right? It's a hang hang.
2d6
Okay, so take what do you roll for that?
plus 3.
Okay, so it's gonna be 12 as your base. And then roll your 2d6 and then add 6.
So 2d6, 3, 5, so 8 plus 6. Thank you, dear. So that's 14 from that, and they have to make a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
It's fine.
That's so that's 26 total, right? 12
Yes.
plus 14. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, sorry, just navigating through these tabs is really just the most delightful, I cannot tell you. Hello, there you are. My old friend, Darkness. Alright, I need to make a what?
DC 13 strength saving throw.
Oh, I fail.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well then you are knocked prone.
What
Go-
does that look like when an amorphous blob gets knocked prone? Also, there are 2 of them. Which one were you attacking?
I shall attack the one.
Or do each wolves do the wolves
They
each take
they
one?
diverge. So the one
Okay.
that gets the nom is the one on the right. Whoever may be
Okay.
near the one on the right.
Okay.
And the first wolf tries to nom, but the amorphous blob is too like woo, and the second one runs up and just sinks its teeth into the what could be considered a shoulder of an amorphic blob, and just pushes back with his hind legs and knocks this blob prone and just snarls at it.
Okay. Andy will be delighted at this, and they'll look over and say, "Wow, boy, it's a party!" Like you know. Okay.
Yay!
And then go back to their pretty vicious stance. Tate, it's your turn.
Okay, how bad does Andy look?
Andy doesn't look great, but they look like they could probably take a pretty severe beating, but he just looks ill.
Okay, but I couldn't take a severe beating, so we're not going to do that. I'm going to... Tate's going to sort of fumble for a second and like reach for a component pouch and be like, nope, not in there. Oh, and reach down and pull out. They pull out 2 necklaces, and one is sort of a beautifully runically carved one that they tuck back in. They take the other one, which is more like an amulet, and they crack it open. And inside is a very rusted and old-looking ring with a very nice diamond in it. And he's going to squeeze it and use it as a ring of spell storing to cast one more 5th level spell, and cast Dawn on the space and just sort of center it so it hits the huge amorphous blob, but not any of the friends.
Okay, beautiful. And do I need to do something?
I believe so. Let me find it. Sorry.
No, don't apologize at all, please.
Constitution saving throw.
Okay. That's a nat 1.
Oh, well, that's fantastic then. So a 40-foot high cylinder, 30-foot radius of pure sunlight is going to sort of break through the darkness that has been encroaching upon us because of this storm. And it's going to take 4d10 radiant damage.
Woo!
Which I rolled a whole mix of things. So 4 plus 4 plus 2 is 10 plus 10 is 40, and then I add my modifier, I think, so 45 points of not 45, sorry, 25. 25 points of radiant damage.
Tate, how do you want to do this?
I think the light just sort of shines down and the form and the shadows just kind of burn up and fizzle away, as shadow does before light.
And you see these shadows kind of dissipate. Irene, as they dissipate in your head, you can hear those whispers a little bit louder. And they are echoing just before they actually disappear and fade off into the distance. And what is it that you hear them saying to you?
She would hear, I think, a myriad of voices, and it would be things like, "I thought we raised you better than this. This isn't how we do things here. We have a reputation to keep." Those sorts of things just over and over again. And then mixed in are voices that sound almost like her own, that say things like, "You'll never be good enough for them or for yourself. They're right." Yeah, I think it's a lot of those voices.
Will you make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
It's an 11.
Okay. As these voices speak to you, they begin to take shape in front of you. And the rest of you can kind of see that there's something shadowy standing in front of or near Irene, kind of mid-air. and it begins to take shape for you, Irene. And it is reminiscent of the shape that you saw when you were in the Vale. That sort of corrupted, shadowy version of yourself that you saw beneath the depths of the manor. And they stand there before you, and you can hear those echoes sort of bouncing between the two of you.
Do we all see this?
None of you see it as clear as Irene does. The rest of you can only see a lingering cloud. But Irene sees this shape.
She'll look forward at it and just kind of shake her head and say, I don't want to believe you.
You see that cloud begin to dissipate and fade, and the whispers get quieter, and they fade off into the distance.
She'll stand there with her sword drawn. It was ready, but now it's just hanging limply at her side, and she just kind of stares off to where they went, and she stands, and there are just tears coming down her face as she realizes how much she misses the people that those voices came from, but not the words that were said. And she cries. I think oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, you go.
Vox will just go over and like stand next to her and just put a hand on her shoulder. Kind of just squeeze it. Not really say anything. And then take her hand off and walk towards Andy.
Irene will kind of wipe her face and realize she's also holding a sword, so she'll put that away. Oh no! And we'll just kind of stand there and survey the scene and just kind of like hold her stomach like one who has cried a bit too much.
How's Andy looking?
Andy does not look great. But
Oh,
well,
yes, I forgot. I was going to cast Lesser Restoration on Andy.
oh, okay. Go ahead and do that.
You just see Lapis still standing by Irene, but she just goes, oh, all right. And then just kind of goes, pew! And a little shot of this blue gold magic will go out and just land on Andy's chest and just spread out.
And you'll see them kind of like take this big, deep breath in. And as that sort of spreads around their chest, you can see them shrink back in size to about the 8-foot height that you were all familiar with. And the spectral spirits that were around them will sort of also shrink into their chests. And you can see that they look significantly better, a little tired, but significantly better. And they were on their way walking over toward Irene, but they will look over at Lapis, and with this goofy grin, with this wide, just so many teeth, they'll just look over and say, "Wow, thanks. That feels really nice."
You are welcome.
Vox would like to give Andy a hug, if they will allow it.
Oh, Andy will see you going in for a hug, and they'll say, "Oh, come here. We're gonna do this. Yep, we are. We're gonna do this."
And when I do, I will put all 15 hit points of my healing hands into them.
Yeah.
They can feel that and say, "Oh, wow. That's really nice. Thank you, Vox." Oh. And they'll like pick you up with your consent.
Oh God.
And put you back down. Sorry. We're known to do that. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry, that was I haven't really been in a battle in a while. I didn't particularly like seeing a crewmate. Please don't put yourself in danger for me again. I'm not worth it.
He will put you down, put their hands on your shoulders, and say, "Well, that's not your call to make."
Your own choice. Yeah.
Plus, hey, you know about the secret, right?
Yes, I know about the secret. I tend to forget about the secret because the first time I knew about the secret was not exactly a great way to be told the secret. Ginger stabbed herself in the leg.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Nope.
No. Yeah. Imagine my surprise. Well, thank you. Sorry. Glad you're okay. And she'll give like the whole smack on the awkward smack on the arm, like
They'll do it back to you and be like, "Yeah, yeah," except it like knocks you because they're so strong. Sorry.
Fox is
Sorry.
she's sturdier-ish. Yeah, she goes down on the ground.
No, I don't think that hard, but it knocks you just a little bit. And Andy's gonna walk over to Irene.
Emotional support werewolf.
Are you okay?
Well, I thank you for asking. I am. Thank you. I am curious. You look quite sad.
Yeah.
He looks kind of sad too. And they're gonna point at Tate. you like the Sad Friends Squad? I don't know what the name is for it.
I mean, I guess right now, yeah, kind of, a bit.
You know, there's a story in my clan, and they're going to be talking loud enough so that everybody can hear. There's a story in my clan that long ago we used to bury our belongings when someone died, or when there was something we wanted to keep hidden, or when we wanted to, oh gosh, I don't know, anytime we really had some sort of, there was always burying of something, some sort of sacred ceremonial burial. And one generation decided to stop that because we realized that burying things only kept them hidden. And yeah, it protected some like really nice pottery and stuff from decaying, but sometimes you need those things to decay. Sometimes you have to get rid of some stuff. And I think that, well, we did also just see an actual representation of light destroying scary bad stuff. I'm not sure what to call that thing. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen a lot, like a lot of stuff. I have never seen that. So don't get me wrong. I use the shadows, but sometimes you just can't keep things buried.
Yeah. Can can I, and she'll just kind of like reach for a hug.
Oh, are we gonna come here? Okay.
Yeah.
Come here. And their big furry arms will just wrap around you and give this big warm hug.
And they'll feel Irene just like exhale like this just big gush of air into their warm soft self, as if they, through the act of embracing another person, is just letting something just go. It's just, needing a support of another physical presence to kind of allow them to release. And I think super muffled in like the fuzziness. You might hear, I miss my parents.
First of all, they smell like rosemary, salt water, and earth. And
That sounds awesome.
and they'll squeeze you a little tighter and say, "Me too."
Squish. I'll let go.
Anybody else? I got big arms. You don't have to. There's no pressure. I understand. It's absolutely okay. Just saying, I am a big furry being who is willing to give hugs. And, we're known for giving pretty good hugs. Look at this fur. It's pretty nice, right? Just saying, the offer stands.
Fuck, I love Andy. God damn it.
I love Andy so much.
I love like instant every barrier was broken down. That's what's like, god damn it.
It's like, Lapis will blink. Like she's not quite sure what that means. And then just slowly raise her hand up. It's like, huh? Am I doing it right?
Do you want to shake on it? Is this an agreement that do you want to, I'm not sure what this gesture means.
I'll just stand behind Andy looking at Lapis and go,
okay, all right. And they'll like pull you in and wrap their arms around you. And you also smell the salt water and the rosemary. And you feel these arms just very gently hold you. And they're warm and they're furry and they're a lot taller than you are.
The air is slightly thinner up here. Interesting.
I've heard that before, I have. And they'll like gently put you down and stand back. Okay. All right. So
Maybe we should get going before another storm. Storm.
Oh, there's gonna be plenty. I know where we are now. I should have mentioned that. I did figure that out when I went running away from you all. Sorry about that. Anyway, there'll be more storms. We're heading to my clan, my home clan.
Oh.
So that's really
That's fortuitous.
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think we'll find out when I get there. So
Oh.
Andy, are you gonna be okay?
oh yeah, I'll be fine. I think.
Are they really gonna be okay? Insight check.
You can roll an insight check if
No,
you
I
want.
won't roll an insight check.
They really don't know. They're not sure how
Yep.
they will be received. So, shall we go?
Let's away.
Oh. I climb in back and let's be off.
And I
I'll
think
sit next to
that's-
Irene.
I think that's where we'll take a quick break. So stick around, everybody hang out. We'll be back in about, like 5-10 minutes. We're going to go be human, stretch, unpack, and do all those things. Go hydrate, maybe get a snack, whatever you want. And we'll be back. Hello, and welcome back. We're doing great. So, welcome back to Grimm Femmes Beyond the Veil. If you stuck around, thank you so much for staying here. I hope you got some water. For those of you who are just hello, Matthew. For those of you who are just joining us, we use storytelling to process real life trauma and pain together. So please feel free to take breaks as needed. We can't give one content warning for everything because the list is long. So the party is currently making their way through the Greywind Path to get to a small town of werewolves who need some supplies. And the group is making their way through a path that is notoriously known for having storms that are charged with the electricity of emotion, which manifests itself through the individuals who are traveling through that path. So, thus far, we have seen Tate's rage, and we have seen Irene's contempt, and we continue forward. You all regroup onto your wagon, and for a little while, it seems calm. That
How
What?
long technically?
how long what are you
If I-
looking for here?
If I could get an hour to do arcane recovery, that would be great.
Yes, yeah. Let's say it's an hour. Absolutely. Let's say it's about an hour of just what appears to be a variety of different storms. None of which appear to be emotional of sorts. You feel some waves come and go of a range of emotions, but none that seem as significant or intense. Is there anything that any of you, so this is a short rest, is there anything any of you would like to talk about, or do you think you spend most of the time just kind of being quiet?
I think Irene's mostly just quiet. Not like ignoring anybody, but just kind of thinking, trying to process everything that just happened and everything that Andy said.
Tate is fiddling with that ring he took out of the amulet, the spell storing ring, and is definitely disassociating a lot just by himself.
I think Vox is trying to get a grasp of what these friends might have been going through, and maybe feels a little bit guilty that she hasn't thought about them. It feels a little selfish that she's been thinking about herself too much, and also just feels like your clothes just don't quite fit right, and just itchy, and it just feels weird, and she's just constant anxiety from just worried that she'll never make it back on the boat, that they won't come back for her, or they'll come back for Andy, but they won't come back for her. And I think we'll kind of also disassociate and just kind of a little overwhelmed. She tries to normally put on the face, but right now it's just, there's nothing to distract her, and she's really confused.
Lapis will just be checking over Andy and checking that medically they are okay.
And medically, they are. If you would like to roll a medicine check to get some specifics.
Medicine. I rolled a 16.
Okay, so you were able to tell that Andy really needs some time to just sort of rest and heal, that they are um, pretty tired. Their body just sort of seems physically kind of weaker than it normally is at its baseline. Um, and that they clearly just need some time to just sort of rest and heal, but otherwise totally in good, very healthy shape. And all the while, Andy is sort of just kind of nonstop talking about adventures that they've gone on the ship. You hear about Tabaxi named Mavis, who's their best friend. You hear about Fox's arrival. You hear about adventures with other people on the ship. It is just almost for an hour. I think they probably will take maybe 5 minutes in total over this hour-long span to sort of just look at things and look at you all, and then we'll jump right back into a story. So it's kind of just this running tape of all sorts of adventures that they have been on in the recent years, and they're very excited to be here with all of you. And then you can all sort of feel this sense after an hour. The air almost grows thicker, and it almost feels as though something is pushing in on you in a way. Just the air grows heavy, and it gets dark, and it begins to rain. Although there are no actual clouds anywhere that you see, just this sort of constant foggy, dusty, sort of swirling bits, and it begins raining. And you all begin to sort of remember moments of loss in your life. You begin to feel grief. The kind of grief that you just hold in the center core piece of yourself, and it just grows there with you. But Lapis, you are unfamiliar with emotions now. You're unfamiliar as to what this, it feels like you're almost wearing something that's too heavy and too itchy, and you feel as though there's something sitting in your center that is hollow. And the manifestation of Lapis's grief, whatever that means to Lapis, begins to form from these raindrops. You see them falling and collecting and shaping into something, or perhaps nothing. What is it that it looks like, Lapis?
The raindrops form, and it forms two beings. And the way the water flows, you can't really see their faces. You just see this swirling water. And then in front of them is a little girl. And she stood there, and you can't see her features either. And then the two figures behind her start to walk away. And they walk away, and they keep walking and walking and walking until they're in the distance, and the little girl just stands there. And then these raindrops start to form again. And they form a crowd around this little girl. And they're pointing. And they're chanting. And their chanting sounds like thunder. And it rips across the skin. And it burns inside. And they just keep pointing and laughing. And Lapis falls. And they just keep laughing, and they just keep laughing and going on and on. And the noise is loud, and it's angry, and it's so, so, so cruel. The kind of cruelty you didn't think was possible when you were a child. And then the raindrops collect. These figures fall into water, and they draw into the little girl, and she grows taller. And you see the figures, their water grow into her, and then you see a woman behind her, and she points away from everything. Away from her, away from home. And that water pours into Lapis until this other being is this swirling form of thunder and rain and chaos and darkness. And it's so loud. It's just so loud. And angry. And just pain. It feels like pain, unable to be expressed in the words that human beings have, only in the sounds that animals make. That is what Lapis sees when she looks at this figure of grief.
And the rest of you see this too. And what is it that Lapis does in this moment? The rest of you see this. You might be unaware that it is in fact Lapis. What is it that Lapis does when she sees this?
Lapis will step off the cart and walk towards this figure, this loud, angry figure. And as she starts to walk towards it, she hears the whispers again, the yelling and chanting, the taunting. And it isn't even what they're saying, it's the way they're saying her name. Like it's warped and twisted and wrong and bitter. And as she walks towards this figure, she sees herself reflected within it. She sees what she is in their eyes and sees herself. And she knows that something is wrong. Something must be wrong with her. Because why else? Why else would this happen? Why else would people be cruel? When she tried to be kind, they threw rocks. When she tried to be sweet, they burned her with fire in their words. And she looks at this figure of herself and she hates it. Because this is everything that no one could love. So why would Lapis love it? Why would she love this being that no one ever heard? And she looks at this and hears the taunts in her ears, sees this, And she just looks at it and says, "Go away!"
And you see that the rain begins to slow, but the figure remains and takes one small step closer to Lapis.
Don't understand. I don't understand. I tried to be good, and the more I tried, the worse it hurt when I failed. When you failed, I made us better. I took out the parts that no one loved. I smoothed us over like fine glass until we were shiny. I gave us purpose. I tried to fix us, to mold us into something somebody could love. I don't understand what is wrong with us that is so unfixable and unlovable. I don't understand what is wrong with you.
And you see this watery figure kind of look down at their hands, and their hands will rotate around. And they'll look up at you and back down at their hands. And they'll hold their hands out toward you.
You don't understand. I don't understand what I did wrong. I don't understand. There had to be something wrong. There had to be some reason. It couldn't have just been. There had to be some reason. And if the reason is me, if I'm the problem, then I can fix me. I can keep chipping away at us until I find the root of what will make us happy. But I've tried that. I've tried. I removed everything I was for other people. I removed everything I was for others. For a love that didn't come from family. For a love that didn't come from people. For a love that didn't come from the people who were supposed to protect me above all else. I changed and molded myself like water to fit in the glasses they left. I wanted to be perfect because people love perfect. They don't like sadness and anger. They don't like the emotions they cannot handle. They don't like you look sad. I do not want you to be sad. I look at you and I see everything everyone has taken from us. Everything we've had and lost. And I am confused. I didn't want to feel these. That's why I took it out. Because it's easier not to feel this. How do you process? How do you understand something like this?
You will hear this sort of watery but thunderous voice in response kind of echo through these cavernous walls, say, I am sad. And I am you.
I tried to make us better. I tried to make us not broken. Not the cracked, broken, ugly thing we were. I tried to make us shiny and new. But I did it by taking parts out of us. I did it by ripping apart the threads of our soul until there was nothing I recognized. And I thought that was good. And I thought that would bring me love, acceptance, and family. If I accept you, I lose them. They won't want to be with me anymore. They will see the dark parts, the ugly parts, and they will leave. Or they'll hurt me just like everyone else did.
Can we hear this? Can we hear all of this?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think that it's probably like kind of a quiet conversation, but you all see and you absolutely heard the rain sort of grief Lapis respond. Whether or not you can hear Lapis, it would be if you're really trying to listen in to that, but you could hear it if you were close enough. And you will hear that sort of thunderous voice again respond, and she kind of looks at her arms and down at her body and back at you and says, you can't ever get rid of me. I didn't think there was something wrong with me.
I didn't think there was either. But then why did they leave? And why did they hurt? If it wasn't my fault.
And you won't really hear, she kind of shakes her head and shrugs and says, I don't know, but I miss you.
I miss you too. I miss being a whole person. Instead, this blade of grass that gets stamped on. I feel emptiness in my chest, and I don't understand. It's painful like it was before, but we took it out, so there shouldn't be pain.
And she holds her hand up for you to mirror her hand. And you see these sort of threads of water reach out and gently wrap around your hand and your fingertips. And it feels familiar. And it feels like a longing, something that you haven't had for so long. And you hear that thunderous voice again say, "But I'm still here."
What if they leave? I just got them.
Can I send my raven, after whispering to it, back over to Lapis? And it is carrying with it another message. And having heard the louder voice say that it was still here or never left, the message shall reflect that and say, "We're still here, and we will be here."
I have a question, if you wouldn't mind. I didn't want to interrupt, but I did want to go and at least stand behind Lapis a little bit, because I didn't know whether that thing was going to hurt her or not. I was wondering if I could walk up to Lapis, and I would like to allow the darkness that is within Vox to come to the surface. And I would like the necrotic shroud to fall from her head to her toe as her eyes go black and her hair goes dark, and these wings protrude out her back, skeletal and disgusting and dripping. And she would like to kneel in front of Lapis and extend her hand, asking for hers. And she'll take it gently, and she'll bring it to her chest and her back and start to run the fingers over the scars. And just look at her and go, "Sometimes people are just cruel. And sometimes there's nothing we can do about it. And it's not our responsibility. And it's not our fault. It would be our fault if we did that to somebody else. But what's done to us, it's their fault. And it leaves a mark. Not just on the skin, it leaves it on the soul." I always thought that my family left for the darkness in me They were just trying to love me. Just like we love you.
I'm sorry. I do. I thought my family left because there was something wrong with me. How do you bear it when you have a heart? To know that cruelty just exists.
Vox will just look back to Tate and Irene, and her eyes will settle on Andy. You look to the ones that are kind. You look to your crew. You look to the ones that are always by your side, that would go into battle with you and for you. It doesn't make it... I wouldn't say it doesn't make it hurt less, or it doesn't make it not hurt, but it doesn't make it hopeless.
I was going to ask a silly question.
No question is silly. What is it?
I was going to ask if you were afraid of showing who you are to the people you love in case they leave. But you are wonderful, Vox. And utterly beautiful. And there is nothing broken or wrong with you. And any of those who do not accept you for who you are do not deserve what you bring into their lives.
I'll say that. It is scary. And it does scare me. But I'm learning to trust again. And I'll squeeze her hand and I'll put it over my heart. Know that all that you said to me, we 100% believe for you. There's nothing wrong with you. You are beautiful. We love you very much. And I'll let her just feel the heartbeat rise and fall.
I miss that. I miss that sound. I miss that feeling. And you see Lapis's skin is entirely galactic. It looks like a constellation of swirling pink and blue and yellow. And right now it's dark blue, and you see when she touches your heartbeat, yellow bloom in her face as if it's changing with her mood.
You look like the midnight sky that guides lost ships home. Like the swirling purples. Those are my favorite colors.
I couldn't hide what I was. I couldn't hide it. Am I not ugly?
No. You're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Lapis is going to go down to her knees and wrap her arms around Vox if she'll let her.
Absolutely. And as she does, the shroud that had started from her head fades. And she'll just hold Lapis as long as she wants.
We'll see that the storm version of Lapis sort of grows these watery tentacles that sort of envelop you all in this wash of water, and it collapses in on all of you, and you see sunlight for the first time in several hours, and the ground sort of soaks up this water, and you can sort of feel it embrace you all. It's not cold, it feels warm. And for the rest of you, you can feel this bit of relief from a pressure that has been sitting on you that you didn't even realize was there.
I want to get out of the cart. And I want to go over to these two lovely, beautiful people. And I want to crouch down on my knees. And I want to put a hand on both of their shoulders. And there are tears in her eyes, as there are in mine. And she will look at Lapis and say, I didn't think you could get more beautiful, but I was very, very wrong.
And I'll kind of pull back from Lapis and I'll look at her. Do you want to know what makes you even more beautiful? The kindness. I look back at my memories of you. It's just the kindness. Be one of the kind ones. And as hard as it is, and don't I know how hard it can be, don't forget to point that kindness at yourself every once in a while.
Her skin has turned a pink and yellow.
Box will give her a kiss on the forehead if she'll let it.
The spot where Vox kisses just looks like a burst of starlight.
She's fascinated.
I feel sort of heavy, and my stomach hurts.
Yeah, those are feelings.
It's like you ate too much food.
Yes, like I ate too much bread, and now there is too much bread in my stomach, and now my stomach is angry at the bread.
It helps with a nap.
Until you get a nap, though, she's gonna hold out her arms. Hugs help too.
I am new at this.
Super, just the tightest squeeze. And then she'll pull her back and just kind of keep her hands on her shoulders and just kind of look at, just take in everything and say, I'm sorry if this sounds weird. I could stare at you for hours.
Likewise.
In a scientific sense, like you want to study me, or
In a sense that your face reminds me of home. And for once I feel steady on the solid ground.
my face reminds you of home, then it cannot be that bad, right?
Right.
Tate is gonna get out of the cart and approach, but stand back a ways.
I think Irene will kind of pivot so that they're out of the way between Tate and Lapis and kind of move next to where Vox is. And over next to where Vox is, will kind of reach down and, with her consent, just kind of hold her hand.
Lapis approaches Tate and looks nervously at him. I understand I am a lot. You are my best friend. And I hope if you don't like me like this, then I am afraid we cannot be friends.
Lapis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like you more now because I think it would be physically impossible for me to like you any more than I already did. This doesn't change that at all.
That was good because I was really winging it with the whole not being friends thing. I was really trying to go for something and I wasn't sure if it was working. I'm trying a new thing. It's been a long 5 minutes.
I'm so happy for you right now. Look at you. I can literally see love reflected on your skin. How anyone could look at you and not see. I'll hold my hands out.
I take him.
You are my best friend. And you are absolutely perfect the way you are. And if you would allow me, I would love to use you as a muse because you are the most wonderful creature I've ever seen. But this isn't about that. This is about how wonderful you are on the inside. But I'm sorry.
He's really young too.
I don't know what that means.
I'll tell you in an hour.
And if Lapis will allow it, I will pull Lapis into a hug.
I definitely allow it.
And I don't let go until Lapis Let's go.
Then we're going to be here for the end of time.
That's okay. I'm okay with that.
At this point, you hear a thud behind you, and Andy jumps off the cart and says, "Okay, all right, bring it in. Oh, we got it. Okay, you all really just are okay. Yep." And he's gonna wait for people to arrive into their big furry arms for a very big group hug for anybody who is consenting and wanting.
Yep.
So in. I'm
Consenting
so in.
and wanting.
They smell so good.
So good. And it's so pretty and kaleidoscopic.
And I think that is where we will end tonight's session.
Holy, I'm.
Thank you everybody for hanging out. We've got Overlight in 9 minutes.
Oh, thank you. Hello, welcome.
Hi, hello, Raiders. We are just wrapping up Grimm Femmes, but hang out.
Don't mind us. We're
for
told
Overlight. We're fine. We're a little emotional. It was a very emotional. Welcome to Grimm Femmes. Those of you who are crying with us, welcome to Grimm Femmes. So why don't we go around? You share your favorite moment, and where we can find you on the internet. And then we will try to get out of here as soon as we can. I know there's folks watching, getting ready to jump right in immediately. So why don't we go ahead and start with Anders?
Hi, I'm Anders. Fuck.
Sorry, we can start with someone else.
Nope, this is great. We're just gonna do it. My favorite moment was literally everything that just happened for like the last 45 minutes. It was so beautiful and so good, and Val broke my heart, and then Val and Kaya fixed my heart and healed my heart, and then Marina came in and it was even more beautiful, and then we got hugged, but it was a lot, but it was all so good. And a bunch of feelings. And you can find me on the internet at Anders_D_K. I have a website now. It's pinned on the top of my Twitter. Where I write some things. And you better believe I'm gonna write about tonight. So look on for that. Okay, I'm done trying to make words now.
And over to we're gonna go down and then up. So Maria.
Hello, it's me. I am and always will be Maria, and I am at Happy Capster on Twitter. Favorite moments, because Andy talking about burying things and how sometimes it's just not good to bury things and just to let them die. Very good. And then Val taking off that mask. It was so it was so good. That everything after, like during that and then after that, it was just so it was so great. It was so great. That. Oh, also, I do things with Goblin Society Games on Twitter. At Society Goblins, we make D&D 5e homebrew items, magic items, weapons and stuff. Go check it out. It's real cool. It's real fun. Yee.
Awesome. Up to Val.
Hi, I am Val. I don't know what brain is. Words, floops.
I think you're doing great.
My favorite moment. Oh, there was too many. Andy, the entirety of Andy, was the greatest. Irene and talking to her shadow self and having that conversation with Andy. Oh, just very. And specifically when Vox was talking to little like Lapis when she was struggling through it, because that is exactly the words that little me needed to hear, and it spoke to the tiny me in my soul, and I was like, yeah, that's what tiny me needed to hear, that it's like, it's okay. And I don't know if she would have taken off the mask if Vox hadn't had taken down the shroud. And I was like, oh, she's like me. That's someone like me, and she's so pretty and so wonderful. So maybe I'm not so bad. And I was like, that is a lot of emotions. You can find me here on Mondays doing this wonderful journey. Oh, Emma, sorry, I'm taking too much time. Emma, hey, thank you so much for the lapis thing because I didn't think she wanted to fight it. And talking to it was it would have been a fight and it would have been cathartic, but for some reason talking was like, oh, this is here. You can also find me here on Thursdays for Project VHS. We're taking a 3-week hiatus because Thanksgiving impacts you. Haha. 2 weeks, technically. I can't do math. Anyway, goodbye. Farewell.
Fare thee well. And up to Kaya.
Okay. I'm going to do my best to get through this without crying again. Hi, everyone. I'm Kaya Gaston. You can find me on Twitter at Crit Charisma. I live mostly here on Variant Roles, but I do play in Firefly Tales of the Verse on Dice Prairie on Tuesdays at 10:30 Eastern. My Anders, awesome, also plays my amazing wife. Also, you could find me on Barrett Rolls for Nerd Out every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Please join me tomorrow with Eugenio Vargas. We're talking about musical theater and the importance of representation in it and around it. Cool. Favorite moment from tonight. It was so, I've said this before, and Emma and I have talked about this before, that Lapis is the embodiment of Vox if Vox was able to tear out her heart as well. And because I played with Val before, all I kept saying was that I want to wrap her in my snake tail. And tonight, just hearing all of that was resonating so much with her that just that whole thing, like if I could hug you right now, I would. And that was just amazing. Val, you're fantastic. Every time I get to play with you, it's just, yeah. Anyways. Stop. Okay, I'm good. Everyone, that's me. I'm out. I'm gonna go cry now. It's good.
And that is up to me. My name is Emma. You can find me at MK Hansen on Twitter. I am here Mondays running these amazing, like, y'all, I'm just so grateful that this is what we're doing and that you all shared your vulnerable pieces with me and that you trust me to do this with you all. I just cannot tell you every week how humbling and wonderful and healing this is. So, thank you for trusting me with this. And Thursdays, you can usually find me Project VHS, which is also here on Variant Roles. We are taking a 2-week hiatus. We will be back after that. And you can also find me at PAX. I will be wandering around there. There might be something happening in December. I don't know if anyone said anything about that. So watch Twitter for that. If you like what we do here at Variant, favorite moment, the Lapis mask. That was truly like that. It was like a moment where I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening. We're here and it's happening. I didn't know if it would happen and it's happening. It's happening right now. We're watching it happen right now. And it was like, it was so beautiful and so wonderful. And just the way that you all just enveloped each other in those moments was just so lovely. If you like what we do here at Variant Roles, go ahead and follow. Subscribe if you're able to. Check us out on Twitter. Please stick around. Eugenio is running Overlight. It's been a wonderfully dark and lovely and beautiful and complex and emotional campaign thus far. So stick around for that. They'll be going live in just a few minutes. Thank you to everybody who has joined us this evening. Please go self-care. Please be nice to yourselves. You're all wonderful. You're all worthy. You're valid. I see you. Go hydrate. Have a great night.